We are live. This is the market update, the evening show version of the market update. So, is Uncle Sugar having a little bit of problem with this shutdown? Did we have results and a change of power yesterday that sends a very clear message that the people are not being represented as usual? Sovereigns are behaving badly as usual. And what does this particular administration do when it becomes unpopular? It does a crypto pivot. So not only should you buy or get crypto, not investment advice, but they are going to help you by pumping crypto because that's their default way to be popular when they become unpopular. And if you're following the change of power going on in a major metropolitan area on the East Coast, which I'm sure will be an unspeakable, unallowed topic. Oh, I don't know, by the end of today, if not sooner, a major wake-up call has been issued. Plus, do we have a little bit of a problem with the bank? Notice somebody pouring money into Ripple, my favorite crypto treasury company, the XRP Treasury Company, the mother of all crypto treasury companies. Ripple, now valued at $40 billion. That's right. They got a $500 million investment. Galaxy Digital in the list. My homie Mike Novogratz from Goldman. Yeah. Ripple has stock that trades. Lots of people have it. And it's worth $40 billion. Now, why is that number relevant, XRP fans? Well, I believe at the peak, Circle, which just does stable coins, aka CBDCs, aka surveillance tools, I think that got up to a $60 billion valuation. So Ripple is almost where Circle was, and it's not even public yet. Wowza. You imagine what happens when it goes public? Imagine what happens when people figure out that Ripple, while everybody has been selling and being negative and, doing whatever it is that we've been doing in crypto for the last 10 months, Ripple's just been doing acquisition after acquisition after acquisition. The way all the big Silicon Valley companies did, like, say, the best example is when, the big company that runs this channel got YouTube, they got Android. They just kept buying stuff. Then you woke up one day and they're like, wow, they paid $1 billion for YouTube. Now YouTube makes them $1 billion a day. What is going to happen when Ripple and XRP are at the forefront of reforming bank payments? Or if banks have a little bit of a problem and all of a sudden need to reduce the cost of cross-border transactions, which after all is what XRP does. Every other form of money has gone up. We will discuss some Toby Ward small caps today, by the way, some completely cool stuff. Toby has figured out how to use her futuristic book that you didn't read, okay, to help her see the future, be a futurist, and pick and discuss altcoins. We'll discuss some of them. If I'm nice, we'll discuss all of them. You might have to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That might help the process. But can you imagine all these forms of money? Like XRP, like Bitcoin Cash. Every other form of money has rallied, and XRP has done nothing. The small coins lead, the big coins follow. Naturally, everyone in the market is content to sell the rally as retail goes, oh my God, a 3% rally. I can get out now and stop the pain. I don't have to worry about it going any lower. Okay, we've got some actual beautiful candlestick formations, which I'd be happy to go through, which our friends in Patreon in that 6th Street crypto middle tier got much earlier today before the market went up, along with a complete comprehensive plan that I was publishing for the Platinum area and the YouTube member area, where we have been getting our people ready. Because let me give it to you very simply. Ready? Here it comes. What is the best time to talk about Bitcoin at 200K? The exact moment where Bitcoin is at 100K and everybody's afraid it's going to go to 85. That's when you talk about 200K. Not when it's at 124, although that's fun, but that's what the media does. What you should do is do like what Cathie Wood did from ARK and hoover up the stock in Tom Lee's Ethereum Treasury Company, because there will be a Zcash Treasury Company, and I think there's going to be a Bitcoin Cash Treasury Company when Roger Ver comes back on the scene after, battling the forces of darkness. Let's put it that way. Because remember, when it comes to things like XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and the whole ecosystem, I just coming up with two random examples. But if you have an administration that has to pivot hard to crypto and actually do something, right? Like our Z-Man, that's what we're going to call him from now on, right? Z-Man on the East Coast just woke everybody up. And boy, you bet Z-Man's going to be on the tape making a whole lot of noise. The only way to drown out that noise is crypto. And they might actually have to keep some promises. And even if the administration doesn't want to do it, Congress might have to. I know that's just shocking. I just said that. Congress might actually have to do something to save themselves. First, they have to open up the government. And then when they get done opening up the government, they have to bail out the banks. And then they have to get crypto legal. Cynthia Loomis is on the tape today. Sky is the limit. And again, these catalysts, these underrated catalysts, because everybody is looking at their bags. Everybody is looking at the Binance. Everybody is like, why is it going down? Why is it crashing? And I understand that. Everybody is trying to get some context to deal with the severe emotional pain. I'm clearly not minimizing that. However, for our customers, right? Customers with a capital C, for the customers of Patreon, for the customers of the YouTube member area, for anybody hearing my voice and Toby Ward's voice, more importantly, right? These people are making money, right? The privacy trade could have an extension, and then people could realize that privacy is actually leading a new bull market. You're right. That I just said that. Privacy is leading a new bull market. Now you're like, what bull market? I'm selling my Solana up 3%. I can't wait to get out. I'm doing a 3x, 10x leverage short for a retest of the lows or a move to 95K. And I'm like, okay. I mean, something could happen in stonks. I'm not going to tell you. I can tell you what I did, right? As I bought Bitcoin. I bought Solana. I bought Bitcoin Cash. I bought Akash and Tau. That's what I did. I can't tell you what to do, right? This is not investment advice. This is an opinion show, right? And, I got some Zcash and I got all that stuff, and I'm just going to sit tight, because the beautiful thing about this move to 103 is that it's above 2 pivots from our Gann model, right? The first pivot was 101, right? Bitcoin had to hold that on a closing basis. And then we'll discuss the other pivot later on in the show if you stick around. But before we do that, let's review the catalysts. So a senator, and he's a big senator, all right, but he also happens to be from New York. And what do they have in New York? Well, we have this and that politics. Yeah, they also have Wall Street and banks in New York. Schumer demands meeting to end shutdown. Let me ask you something. One of the things that you'll read about all over Twitter is, oh my God, Bitcoin went down because the dollar index went up, right? Dollar up, right? Other currencies down. Bitcoin is another currency. Foreign exchange is a teeter-totter, right? So dollar up, other currencies down. Okay. So why is the dollar going up? Well, because people can't borrow dollars, right? There's not enough sugar out there in the system. They can't borrow dollars. We are late in the credit cycle, which is a polite way of saying that defaults are happening and there are cracks in the system that aren't funny at all. And the Fed knows it. Everyone knows it. So they're freaking out. They can't borrow dollars, so they're buying them. You go to the foreign exchange market. We got any Swiss francs lying around? We got any whatever lying around? Okay, great. Sell them and buy the dollars we need to pay our bills, to pay our interest, to do whatever we need to do. Use our foreign exchange reserves to get dollars. Now, normally, when the dollar goes up, that is an alarm bell for risk assets, which it has been, right? Stonks don't trade well. Stonks are overvalued, but there's too much talk about stonks being overvalued. There's too much talk about the dollar going up and not enough talk about the fact that crypto is cheap compared to stocks. So you can be short stocks or long crypto. Which trade would you rather do? Apparently, based on the price action, no one wants to be long crypto. That's interesting. Right? And then there's this whole thing about the dollar. It's like, well, you know, you can do the trade in the foreign exchange market and watch these legacy guys all try to get short the dollar because I'm short the dollar because I'm a big hedge fund and that's what I do. I get short things so I can have the big short dream all over again because I'm smarter than everybody. Okay. Meanwhile, the trade might actually be long Bitcoin. I saw Ray Dalio on the tape today talking about, I don't know, Bitcoin has a mathematical property that makes it ideal. Yeah, that means Bridgewater just bought all the Bitcoin on the planet that anybody would sell them. That's what I think, because every time Ray comes on the tape or appears on Twitter, that's exactly what has happened. Like everyone is doing the wrong trade. Like retail's getting out. People are really upset. I get it. This has been going on for 11 months. And that's exactly what needs to happen. Back in January, we were all convinced that this was all going to the moon. Everybody was bullish. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows crypto is the future. Yet, what did we have to do? And this is very typical, right? When everyone knows it's going to happen, when everyone knows it should happen, you know what occurs? Frustration. Everyone knows it's going to happen. And what the market does is it grinds you down. It grinds you out until you change your mind and sell or get out or get bearish or aren't long enough or whatever. And that's exactly what's happened. The difference between November of this year and November of last year, 99K, everyone with a lampshade on their head, drinking out of a bottle of champagne, dreaming about quitting their day job. Now we have 99K and everyone wants to put their head in the sand, lie in bed, pull the covers over their head and sell. It just, please stop the pain. Please stop it. Please make it go away. The bad man is haunting me in my dreams. Meanwhile, the actual reality was the reality from last year, where this is definitely going up because of problems in the fiat system. And now with Z-Man, World War Z. They have to embrace it. They have to keep a campaign promise. It would be a really good idea headed into the 2026 midterms because there's no hope of winning that without the crypto bro vote. And we're all done with promises because none of the promises got kept in any area. I mean, I'm not saying that they didn't try to do something good. I'm sure they did. Okay. But you know, some things didn't happen. Like they got the stable coin bill. Okay, fine. Right. I have a solution to stablecoin from the guys from Antivirus. They just issued something called, or a placeholder pre-mint token called Matrix, where you'll be able to mint a private stablecoin. Okay. Once they build the blockchain, which they will, privacy will be back and they will make sure privacy is legal. You know why? Because they're going to need it when they're not in office. Because when you see what Z-Man is going to do, okay, yeah, they're going to need to make sure crypto is legal. There'll never be a return of a Spitzer. Never. And like I said, it's legal for their own selfish purposes because they are long it. And it would be a good idea if the crypto bro vote went their way next time we have to, decide who is in power and who isn't. So this is a very, 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 very powerful narrative. And, again, just talking about a little bit of reality because sometimes you have to do it. Uh, jobs are booming, right? Yeah. Okay. Here are the announced layoffs. A lot of 5-digit numbers here. Intel, 24,000, Ford, 11,000. And yeah, and Americans have figured it out. First, max out all your available debt and then declare bankruptcy. So how's that going to work out for the banks? How's that going to work out for the currency? And if you are one of the people who does have a job and is surviving, what are you doing to make sure you're prosperous in the future? What are you going to do to make sure that all the things I just discussed don't happen to you? And even if they do happen to you, there's hope. Now, they're going to take this rally and they're going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out. Get out of what? Your future? You want to get out of your future? No, you don't. You want to get into your future. Why are you watching this show? Because this is the only show that all the way down was like, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Toby Ward, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Right? Basically taking the book, the science fiction book, and turned it into a reality, a podcast. Coin picks, which, we may discuss if you hit the like button and stick around. Now, privacy has now hit the front page of the newspaper. By the way, we will get some live TA going on today, so don't worry about that. Again, just feel free to stay tuned. Now, just a few things about privacy. I'm a big fan. We saved our customers. They'll tell you about it. It's on my Twitter. But Zcash and privacy is now on the front page of the newspaper, at least the crypto newspaper. So it's not like I don't like it. I like it. I love it. Okay, but we have to ask ourselves, is that a sector that leads the market? There's my man Zcash. Is that a sector that leads the market? Right? And then leadership sectors, a lot of times, they go up, then they kind of chill, and then the rest of the market catches up, and then there's, more later. So I'm not advocating getting off the train, but I am advocating for the future of money. And I am telling you that if you made a ton of money in privacy, and these are like, we had all these calls. Toby picked every single one of these, like Rail G. I don't want to use the word Rail G. Decred she had. We've been on Zcash from the beginning. The privacy, the pirate chain, right? ZK Sync, Mina. Don't know what these things are? Look at the charts, man. Anything ZK Sync, anything privacy has just indiscriminately mooned. Now, that could be New York City. That could be just the general future. Toby calls it own your data. Doesn't matter. The thing that's funny is they bought a lot of stuff. I don't know if they bought the right stuff. In other words, hear me out. So you've heard me say this. Our customers hear me say this, and I'm just going to keep right on saying it because I'm right. What goes up? What no one likes, what no one owns, and no one knows how to buy. Or in the case of some of these coins, what nobody can stomach buying if you're a crypto bro in the trenches. Right? Crypto bros in the trenches had no interest in Dash or Zcash or Decred or any of these coins, any of these dino coins that just indiscriminately mooned. No one owned them. Everybody owns the Bitcoin ETF. No one had them. Right. And I think Monero could be next. Monero could be next. Don't know if it's now or later. Now, what could be next now could be transactional Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. I saw somebody doing a little, I want to say it was Crypto T, did a little post today about, giving Bitcoin developers a hard time because Bitcoin is not a transactional currency. Bitcoin Cash is a transactional currency. It actually was the first currency to rally because it basically did a 1x or 2x all summer long. Everything's traded stunk, and in Bitcoin Cash grinded higher. Now drifting back to the 50% retracement. We'll go over the chart, but you do realize that the guy that made that, Roger Ver, is going to be back on the spotlight. You do realize that, right? And, they've mooned all this privacy stuff and all the John McAfee related privacy stuff, which is antivirus, which is the meme and utility token. And then its offspring Matrix sit at 2 and 3 million market cap. Everyone's like, oh, I missed it. Bro, you haven't missed anything. They're still selling the market, for God's sakes. This says nothing about the AI trade. Everyone's like, NVIDIA is overvalued. It's not overvalued. I have put positions. The NVIDIA CEO comes on and says China is winning the race and blah, 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 blah. No one cares. I mean, yeah, the media cares because they eat it up, because that's all anybody wants to talk about is the AI trade over in Legacy. And what Toby told you on the last free stream that you didn't watch, right, is that what they're doing in Legacy is all wrong for AI. It's all wrong, right? They're going to spend $1 trillion building data centers that will never be able to keep up with how fast the AI software develops. They'll never have enough data. It'll never be fast enough. It'll never be big enough. They might have to do it in the decentralized world. Now, do I understand every single thing about that? No, I don't understand every single thing Toby says, because she has a 180 IQ. However, if you look at the decentralized universe, you look at Tau, Akash, even like super intelligence token, all of this stuff has been absolutely pushed off a ledge. And another thing that no one wants to talk about, which is funny, is ETH, right? Raoul Pal explains that ETH holds the most value, the most builder, the most activity, and the most security. No one is talking about Ethereum. No one. Somebody should be talking about Solana, because when they do the asset allocation in equities, that's what could be, dare I say, the volcanic trade. Everyone's like, oh, equities are going to crash. And I was worried about that too, man. I was worried. I don't really like what's going on in stonks. I hope they forestall the reckoning out until January. We can do an everything crash in January. I don't really want to do an everything crash now. What I want to do now is 2017. That's what I want to do, where everyone gets negative after a 40% correction in Bitcoin in September of that year, and then it just goes absolutely up only. But no one's talking about ETH. No one's talking about what happens if everybody goes from NVIDIA to the Solana and Ethereum ETF. Who is talking about that? Everyone's like, well, I have puts in NVIDIA. Oh, this should go much lower. There's very little conversation about the banks. The conversations are out there, like SoftBank, a big investor in AI in the US. Yeah. Down like 32% in 2 nights. Excuse me. 32%. You boys having a little bit of trouble out there? Oh, I think you are. And I think the Fed and Uncle Sugar are going to have to come to their rescue in short order. And that's going to mean a flood of money into the system. A flood. They cannot have World War Z on the East Coast and have this embarrassing change of power and then have banks failing. Never going to happen. Not going to happen. Right. And this is like, it's so bullish. It's so bullish. I don't know. I have a hard time controlling myself, even though I know that everyone's going to try to sell the uptick. I mean, look at this. Ripple partners with MasterCard. I mean, is this right? Like, I looked at it. It's like, is this right? What was XRP uptick? Like 6%? You imagine something like that coming out last year when XRP was moving from 50 cents to $3? Oh my God. You'd have everybody talking about XRP $5, XRP $7 immediately. XRP up 6%. Sell. You know what I'm saying? Like the world has turned upside down. And you know what? This is classic. Probably one of the bigger ones I've ever seen, but this is still classic. Like there was something in 1993, 1994, where the market, insisted that interest rates were going to stay down. Meanwhile, car sales were picking up, job numbers were picking up. All these signals that interest rates were going to go up and bonds were going to go down, and they ignored it for months, 6 months, longer. Then one day everyone woke up, and then it was the biggest bear market in bonds ever, and you had 8% yield on the 30-year bond. I saw that from the floor. But that particular move, and then you had people blowing up as a result of that, right? Like Orange County in California blew up because, their positions were a little off, weren't ready for higher interest rates. Now, again, in this particular case, no one goes out of business, right? That's the old thinking. Old thinking was like, well, something's going to happen and, whatever. It's going to be this destructive trend. Yeah, you do have a problem with the banks, and that's going to have to be addressed. But what is the move? What is the gigantic move? In the past, it was legacy down. In this case, it has to be crypto up. There is no other way to vent the pressure. And it's funny, they've been trying over there in legacy, like, oh, let's take gold up to 4,000. Yeah, let's have Peter Schiff do a victory lap. Okay. Gold is a central bank reserve asset. Awesome. Great. You guys tried to vent the pressure in the system. How's it going? You doing okay? Oh, okay. No, you're not. Actually, you're not. Right. It's like, you're a quarter of an inch away from a massive stock market correction, and you have a problem with the banks. And again, the solution to all this is for everybody to dump crypto. No way. No way. You can just, the door's right over here. You can probably see it. You can just carry me out. Not giving up on this. No way. Not coming off this at all. Not even a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of a prelude for crypto. So, the price of DRAM, memory, chatbots soaking up all the world's power, water, and memory. Well, we might be able to help with water soon. This is representative of the AI trade. It is. It's hardware. But it is representative of what the AI trade can do to markets. Now, this is, hardware. They build stuff. Okay. So what's the next banana zone in AI? Is it NVIDIA, really, at 5 trillion market cap? I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's recent, by the way. That ramp in memory started in October. So what's the next ramp? What's the next banana? The thing that everyone hates, no one owns, and no one knows how to buy, or no one wants to buy, or everyone's too scared to buy. That would be cryptocurrency. Like, you may be okay because you have a bag or you're watching the show, but normies at home are like, oh my God, they all wanted it 2 weeks ago, I'm sure, or 3 weeks ago. But after watching this and this Binance disaster, no, they're not interested. Okay, can you show us about the crypto capital gains tax relief? Okay, well, the orange man giving people cryptocurrency tax relief, unfortunately, was fake news. So that is a correction on that. However, the state of Texas, I believe, passed something about capital gains where, they're not going to be doing capital gains on state taxes. I don't know if that's symbolic or otherwise. That said, one of the things that the orange man may have to do with Congress is give people 1 year's worth of relief on capital gains for crypto taxes. They got to do something. I think they're going to have to send people stimulus checks for Christmas. There is no Christmas without stimmy checks or Bitcoin at 200. Either way, crypto at 200 is a stimmy check, because in case you haven't noticed, you can go on Coinbase and get a 10x. Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, these things are all next, along with Bitcoin. And just about any other altcoin you can think of. The whole AI trade is available on Coinbase. All these crypto bros in the trenches, yeah, they're going to get smoked by people who come in and basically buy it and try to hodl it for months or years. Right? Even if you just swing trade it, you just come in, you buy it on the next dip. It's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. So if whatever dip that there is, if you get the dip and it just goes straight up, normies are going to FOMO into Coinbase, and you're going to have the Zcash effect across the entire spectrum, including Bitcoin. Just up only. And now here's my evidence for the case. Excuse me. Here's the case for up only. When the Binance hack happened, that problem hurt market makers. In other words, if you have to do a big trade in crypto, you go to a market maker. You say, all right, the market maker offers to sell when everyone's buying and buy when everyone's selling. And they have their own mechanisms to which they allow them to do that. And well, those mechanisms broke the day of the mother of all wicks down, and they are all wounded. They are wounded. Some may be out of business. So, as you've seen recently, when everyone comes in to sell all at once, they call up the market makers, and the market makers are like, sorry, not letting anyone run us over. Good luck. Go sell it in the open market. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Now, that also works in the other direction. If you have wounded market makers or market makers with diminished capacity or fewer market makers, whichever, okay, what happens when everybody comes in to buy all at the same time? Who's the seller? Not the market maker. The people who make the market can't make the market. So if they can't make the market, where's the offer? Like you buy, right? You bid and someone else offers, and that's how you match up. Where's the offer in crypto? Where's the liquidity? There isn't any. Everyone's like, well, whales distributed at the top. Oh my God, it was a distribution pattern. Okay. Who did they distribute to? This thing went from diamond hands to diamond hands. Okay, yeah, the Bitcoin treasury companies got stopped out. Fine. Okay, fine. So we washed out the margin babies. The supply that was sold to diamond hands. Now what? What happens when the next big buyer comes in? Forget about it. Forget about it. Once this thing gets rolling, there's no stopping it. Again, Dash went up. Dash went from 90 to 40 to 150. Boom. You know, you had a chance to buy it, but they didn't want to buy it. And if Bitcoin ever started to get rolling because you had a problem with the banks that doesn't necessarily wreck stocks, it's not going to stop. It won't stop. It didn't stop in 2017. It didn't stop last year. It didn't stop in March of 2024 when the whole meme craze took off. Have you ever thought to consider that privacy is the new meme coin trade? How many privacy coins out there? Well, of course, Platinum members know this because we have a list of top 20 privacy coins that we think could spike, along with a Patreon Platinum report where we give you like the top 3 or 4 coins that we like long-term. You got what, 20 meme coins to pick from, just like you did when the Solana meme story first came out. You have privacy coins trading like meme coins, and everyone's in the trenches looking for something else. It's right in front of your face. And this AI trade is even bigger. And that's all right in front of your face, and no one will touch it because it's either dormant or it's gone down or it's just, you know, it's like, okay, I like this comment. Let's wait. Okay, so Radical Vibes, great show. Can you please make a Spanish crypto channel like you did when you were in Puerto Rico? And are you in the Puerto Rican mail channel? No, I am not. Okay. I did not study Spanish in college. In 1989, they made you study by speaking Spanish into a cassette tape, recording it and playing it back. You would listen to yourself. So if you've ever listened to anybody speak Spanish with a New Jersey accent, it doesn't last long. So I listened to me speak Spanish with a New Jersey accent. I shut the tape off, handed the stuff in, and dropped the class. Now, will technology help us out? I hope so. In the meantime, you don't need to know English or Spanish or any language. I believe the color green is arroz, A-R-R-O-Z. Yeah, you need to know the green button, dude. Find it. Find it. Not you. You. Find it. Find it. Because if you can find the green button when everyone else hates this market, like, for example, here's a great quote. Orange Man says, we lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in that island on the East Coast. But don't worry, we'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. Green button is how we're going to take it. So you're going to take care of it. I don't know how he's going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it with the green button, right? And you know who knows it? I know they give this lady a really hard time. 12 million in shares, right? ETH Treasury Company, just after it. After it. What's the best time to buy a Bitcoin treasury company? When they're all selling. right? All that debt. Like if somebody, there's just something to consider. If a Bitcoin treasury borrowed too much money and let's say they went out of business, who gets their assets? The bondholders, the people who issued the bonds. Who did they sell the bonds to? Wall Street, BlackRock, right? They're standing out. Any of these companies go out of business, they're standing down there waiting to take their crypto. Standing down there. It's like, oh, yes, please have a problem. Yeah, okay. Tokenization of assets. Water, apartment buildings, Central Park apartment. Why tokenization will end the financial middleman. You know who's going to need tokenized assets? Machines. People don't understand this, that you are going to have robots walking around offices. If you put an LLM inside a robot operating system, you have a person. Like, you're going to see this when they roll out the 3rd generation robot from Tesla, right? Grok inside of a robot operating system, boom. You have iRobot. This has not been traded in crypto at all. Matter of fact, Bitcoin is a part of the future of money because we're going to need to move money around faster, which is also why this XRP and I think the Bitcoin Cash trade and the Solana trade and on and on and on and on, right? Privacy leads. Now follow the narrative. What moves and what moves fast? What's cryptocurrency? What benefits from DePIN, right? We have a problem with the banks. Anyone interested in Aave, Clearpool, Checks, Goldfinch, any of these lenders? You don't know what I'm talking about? You best figure that out, because this is happening. Like, it is happening right now. And no one is paying attention. No one. Well, no one is paying attention because their bags are down. I understand that. I understand, your bags, you're wounded, you're hurt. You can't think straight when you're hurt. I got it. I understand. But, there's never anything fun about a bottom. Nothing fun. Nothing. At the bottom in 2008, people were so sick of me being bearish. They were like, dude, go in your bunker and get away from me. Shut up. I can't take it anymore. There's so much pain at a bottom. It's breathtaking. It's breathtaking. And we're there. And I mean, it's all over. So, I mean, if you want to see the chart, one of the charts that Patreon got early, right, before the market went up, is here's the Bitcoin 4-hour chart, right? And here's the LuxAlgo Elliott wave work. Pretty simple, right? LuxAlgo does it for you. I'm just tracing it out for you. 3, 4, 5. So 5 waves are normally very emotional. Very nice. Right into the discount zone. And that little X that you may be able to see or not, that's like the momentum is over. And then you get tweezer bottoms. It's only seen this in a book. 2 candlesticks in consecutive order with back-to-back wicks down to the same low. So let's take it down to 99. Okay. Let's check everybody. Let's take it back down to 99 and make everyone really upset, and then we can proceed. Here, these triangles are like the DeMark 13 signals. It means a bottom. And would you look what we have here in money flow? So whales all distribute, or whoever had to sell. And then all of a sudden, as the market goes down, money flow starts to go green. Every reversal signal in the book and money starting to come in. Wow. Interesting. Zcash, a fork of Bitcoin. Could that possibly lead Bitcoin? The YouTube thumbnail, everybody goes, Yeah. That's the market update. No, I'm kidding. It could be. It could be. Okay, ETH, everyone all super eager to sell, goes down to the discount zone. Like I said, the exact same look. Every signal in the book, I mean, 4-hour chart, that's the longest time frame for intraday charts. Then you go over here to DeMark. Now look at what we got here. We got XRP with massive fundamental news, with a 13 bottom, and with this new day starting, we have a 9 bottom. 13 bottom, 9 bottom. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. And again, you go back to your basic candlesticks. Basic. Okay. So there's your tweezers bottom, right? And then, you know, on the DeMark chart, we're going to probably go for a 9 bottom in Bitcoin. So maybe we have to put up with this for 2 more days, maybe. But, you know, oh, this is Bitcoin Cash. Sorry. My apologies. Right on support, right? A, B, C correction. Wave 1 was 445 to 580. Wave 2 down is 580 to 462. Like, what stops that if it gets rolling? This is the Bitcoin Cash weekly chart. You got a big pennant. You have money flow going positive. You have a LuxAlgo quantitative momentum signal. And it's beautiful. A lot of times you get these signals and then there's a consolidation. Sitting on top of the 50-week moving average. Bird on a wire getting ready to fly. Watch out for Roger Vercoin, because when this thing goes, it melts faces. Basic candlesticks. Okay, so Bitcoin, not perfect, but it is A, B, C. That's for sure. You have a big down day and kind of a nice reversal candle. That's good. Reversals are only good if you get follow through. So let's not get ridiculous. It's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. But if you can buy a dip and make money, the chart setup is perfect. What a lovely bunch of coconuts in ETH, right? 13 bottom. Overshoot this support. Overshoot this support. What happens if this gets back above 3,500? I'll tell you what. It's called watch out. Zcash. So no sign of a top in Zcash. You probably got 5 more days before you even have to worry about it. Now, as much as I love Zcash, I will tell you this. Normally, Zcash goes up when the rest of the market is going down. Now, Zcash has probably changed a little bit, but, you know, Zcash up, market sucks. Well, okay. Right? Zcash consolidated, the rest of this market might rip indiscriminately as a catch-up trade. I mean, just look at the picture of Zcash. Okay. Imagine if there were monthly candles in the rest of crypto that looked like this. Zcash went from 80 to 400 in 1 month. You don't think this can happen anywhere else in crypto? Sure it can. If you find the thing that everyone hates, no one likes, is afraid to buy, all the guys in the trenches. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The trench, the trench is something that you wind up in if you're not long the right cryptos when this thing goes. And when I mean go, I mean go. I mean, you want to talk about Christmas? Big Rich is in here talking about Sui, and we did this. Toby called it. He asked Toby when this thing was at $2.50 whether it was going to go to $2 or $3 first. Toby said one more dip. Boy, was she right about that. I was like, wow, I was thinking dip a little. It went all the way down to 180. I mean, look at this. I mean, Sui wiped out everything. Sui is back to where it was last year at the same time. It's like a gigantic do-over. Did a 76% retracement of the last change of power rally with a DeMark 9 bottom. How are we not doing this? Right? Grandpa Keeter, a member for 13 months, says the best 13 months of my 5 years in crypto. Right there in the chat. You know, I got a lot of news for you. I could do a really short market update. Our customers are making money. Everyone else is wrecked. And I know everyone's portfolio is not perfect. And I know some of our customers are having a tough time, but there are other customers who are making money. They're making money. And this render, oh my God, look at this render chart. Holy cow. You got a 13 and a 9 bottom on the same candle. That's pretty freaking tough to do. That's tough to do. Just sitting below $2. This is on the books of Multicoin Capital. You know, Toby can't stop reading books about the metaverse and the future. And what are we doing? Oh, well, we're selling render to Big Rich. That's what we're doing. Everyone's selling. Everyone out. Don't want it. Zero imagination. Zero. That's why we have this, right? Zero imagination. In research, you get paid for imagination. So crypto Twitter and YouTube is filled with all this news and everybody going, oh my God. Everybody going, don't worry, it'll be okay. But what you should be telling people is not only will it be okay, but you need to move in aggressively and just say, you know what? Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'll lose money. I told you what I did. There's the door and it could carry me out. That's it. That's it. And if you don't have conviction, if you don't want to be a person, everyone was like, yeah, I want to go back in the days when Bitcoin was at 300 so I can buy. Yeah, okay. They had a whole Bitcoin through multiple 90% declines. Bitcoin goes down 20% and literally everybody is headed for a bunker with MREs and everyone wants out of crypto and they're done and I'm out. Dude, I understand all coins are wrecked, but it's a 20% correction in Bitcoin, dude. I mean, Charles Schwab investors know to buy 20% declines. It's automatic. It should be automatic in crypto, but no, what we're going to do is we're going to sell the first rally, which is fine, right? Because a lot of these problems with Wintermute or Binance or whatever is in Asia time. Great. Let them do that. You know what I'm saying? Like Grandpa Keter picked himself up, right? He went into Kita and Goldfinch, a lender, which, you know, Toby has liked from the beginning. Toby keeps saying DeFi, 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 DeFi. She didn't even realize that she was talking about Bitcoin treasury companies back in the day. And just in case, you know, just in case you don't understand how deeply depressed crypto is, Goldfinch is a real world asset lender. Look at this. Look at this give up trade here. Look at this. Everybody out. This is on Coinbase, by the way. No interest. None. Everybody wants out. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And Big Rich picked up some Hedera. I love how everyone gets all excited, right? Everyone gets all pumped up about, oh yeah, I want my crypto in an ETF. The crypto goes in ETFs and everyone dumps it. Everyone dumps it, right? Interestingly, you have the LuxAlgo bullish signal in Hedera, and then you come off. The bullish signal has not gone away. Very interesting, don't you think? By the way, these were the American-made cryptos. Do you remember made in the USA cryptos coming a sector after this time last year? Yeah, good luck finding anyone talking about that, right? Hedera gets an ETF. Sponsored by Wendy O, or Wendy O is sponsored by them, whichever one you want to say it. No interest. None. People are acting like it's not even there. That's how messed up it is. Alan has diamond hands and is not getting out. Bro, I don't blame you. I mean, they gave you a nice correction in TAO to the 50-day moving average and the 50% retracement of the recent up move. So something outperformed. They did a little dip. Terrific. 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 I mean, the TA on this, to me, does not feel complicated. It doesn't. Like even Monero. Like I'm just getting warmed up on the new Matrix token. You know, it's not out yet, but I mean, a placeholder token trades on Solana, right? You can get the contract address from the antivirus website. But, you know, you will be able to deposit Monero or Zcash. So you'll be able to deposit $500 worth of Monero or Zcash and get $300 worth of a private stablecoin. You know, not the read only, not the Coinbase version where it's read only. You know, Monero, you give it to me at the 38% retracement. You know, everyone bought it because of New York. You know, maybe it was bid because of New York. Who knows? You know, you have to go to Kraken for this. But again, what goes up long term? What no one owns, what's hard to buy, you got to go to Kraken to buy it. And ask yourself this question for real. Like, what has Monero done in its lifetime? Really? Nothing. Nothing. In other words, we just took all this out for just a second, right? Monero in its life, what has it done? Nothing. It's traded in a square box. And then one day you just wake up, Skynet comes online. See ya. Squiggle TA. I learned that from somebody I used to work with. Right? What stops that? Nothing. Nothing. Look at this. This guy must watch the show. Look at this. From Altcoin Daily. Chainlink Founder says institutions will 10x crypto overnight. Think this guy's doing many deals? The only reason Chainlink is not at 100 right now is because everyone day trades all of Chainlink's deals. They get 100x long, it goes up. They get 200x short, it goes back down. Everyone plays games. And then this guy is like, yeah, they're going to come in. And when they come in, there's not going to be enough liquidity. There's no market makers. Crypto is this little dinky market. You imagine if they have to vent all the problems in legacy in this little dinky market? This little dinky market. How dinky? I don't know. The entire market is worth less than NVIDIA. By a lot. By a lot. In other words, NVIDIA is 5T, and everyone is making such a fuss about it. Fine. Everyone's making a fuss about it. Great. Awesome. Did you know that all of crypto as of now is 3.4 trillion? That's all of crypto, including Bitcoin. You have to add 1.5 trillion to the overall value of crypto to get it to where NVIDIA is. NVIDIA is one stock. Okay. See, what's altcoins worth? Altcoins are worth 951 billion. This is total 3 weekly. And this is, I think, the mother of all accumulation cones. And if they ever broke out of the top of this thing, that's Chainlink's 10x crypto. But hey, man, don't take my word for it. Don't. Chainlink just told you. T-Bone, Spartans, YouTube members. By the way, one of the best values out there would probably be the YouTube member area, where we don't do anything except sit around and have Toby pick altcoins. I do GAN reports. We discuss that. Right? And we explain to you what you should do next. We just basically tell you, don't fall for the BS. Don't fall for it. Don't. You know, like here comes the storm, right? Banks problems. Don't panic. This is what we're doing. We picked the coins that we were going to buy ourselves right on the air. It's a little 10-minute video. Get help with crypto. Crypto therapy. Very popular. Very. Crypto therapy. You need to get on you need to get on the couch and get some help. We'd be happy to give you what you need. I think I promised altcoins, and for all the people who stuck around, I think maybe we should do some of that. I think so. ZK Sync. Network of chains secured by cryptography. Cutting edge innovation. Wants to do something with its tokenomics that makes its coin even more powerful than just governance. How many privacy coins are there? Not that many. Not that many. Probably about as many meme coins as you had back in the day. No one looking at it that way. Not anybody except for our customers. Smart money starts here. Concordium. The layer 1 for trust, privacy, compliance-ready digital value, like Dusk. And the one that Toby is like completely beyond out of her mind hot to trot for, Proof of Truth. Intuition came out today, lost half of its value, as is the case with these things. Proof of trust. Proof of truth. What's true? With Skynet, you are not going to be able to tell unless it's a piece of news put on a blockchain verified by consensus. That's it. Proof of truth. Proof of human. Proof of machine. You don't know what I'm talking about? You will in 3 months. You definitely will in a year when the guy in the cubicle next to you is a robot. Let's get on the trade before that happens, shall we? Let's review. We have Arrow. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's time for Arrow. You know why? We got a lot of busy action here. I'm going to try to de-busy this a little bit, maybe. Okay. So here's Arrow. Here's resistance at $1.96. And here's what I think. I think this is an accumulation cone. I think we paid a little visit and got out the, got out the old glove snap and gave everybody a little check. And then it came back into this accumulation cone, and I basically think it's this, right? Squiggle TA. Oh. So you got to get above $1. That's what I think. I think it's an accumulation cone from Jesse Livermore. I think anytime you can find an expanding triangle, an accumulation cone, any of this kind of stuff that's like ridiculously bullish, you know what? Think like this. Think like this unless they force you out. Make them change your mind about this. Make them change your mind. Period. Bull Runner XNO. Digital cash returns. The guy I used to work with said, we're not wrong, we're early. I was Dash and Zcash, and he was XNO. And it's funny, everything mooned, and that actually came off. I think bag holders all dumped it, which is stupid. Right? And this is exactly what all these digital cash trades look like. Right? They all moon. They all have 90% up moves because no one owns them. Whoops. Sharing the screen. After that first hour, we start forgetting that. Okay, so we have XNO daily. Now, this is important, TA. This is like your basics, right? Break the 50-day moving average or break the LuxAlgo kind of alligator mouth expanding formation. Break out in the same candle, return. Sit on LuxAlgo support. This thing was at $2 last holiday season. This is like the fastest thing that there is. Like D-Cred. Oh my God. Decred doing the same thing. It's a Bitcoin fork with all kinds. It's the first altcoin I learned about, like in 2017. Crazy, right? You don't think this can happen in the market? What did the Chainlink guy just tell you? And no one's going to get it, right? No one's going to get it. You just got told. Forget about, okay, you don't want to listen to an old guy in a Hawaiian shirt? Fine. You don't want to listen to me and Toby? All right, well, that's dumb, but okay, fine. You don't want to listen to the guy that runs Chainlink? You don't want to listen to Galaxy Digital investing $500 million in Ripple at a $50 million valuation? You know what? I don't recommend it. You know, everyone's like, oh, yeah, the institutions are here. I want to follow the smart money. Okay. Okay. So here's Dash, right? This is what happened. So Dash goes up. And then, you know, it went up, it came off. It went up, it came off. You thought this was the end, right? 72 was the end. And then it held at 40. And then it just went. It just went. It went to the premium zone. And now it's going to come off again. Now, I mean, what happens if you do this in higher quality cryptos on a sustained basis? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Dash on Coinbase has a privacy feature. People are worried about whatever it is they're worried about, geopolitical events, political events. I don't know. No one owned it, so it just went. Now what happens when institutions come in and go, oh, well, yeah, this little dinky market that's worth $3.5 trillion, I'll take it all. What do you got? You got Hedera, Litecoin. You know, how many ETFs you got? Okay, I'll take them all. There's a Zcash trading product with Grayscale. Yeah, we'll get some of that too. Aster. Someone wants to know what we think about Asster. Well, you know what? I'd be happy to tell you, because guess what? One of the coins of the day that Toby Ward gave me was, drum roll, Asster. Asster. Lo and behold, Heidi ho. Now, that's all you really need to know, but I will look at the chart anyway. Because, you know, what Toby's doing is Toby has a very simple thought process. Crypto Dog actually invented it. Toby doesn't know who Crypto Dog is, but basically, just figure out what's going up when everything else is going down, and that's what's going to go up massively when the market turns. Massively. I mean, Asster was down like everything else at its 4-hour discount zone. And I know that there are guys who do this, and I used to do it when I was at Goldman, but you know, this is a 50-period moving average on a 4-hour chart. So not the 50-day moving average, the 50-period moving averages of the last 54-hour bars. I know, very confusing. But this looks like, you know, a breakout, a fake out, a breakout. And then if you can buy a dip and make money at $1, then guess what? Guess what? Right? Guess what? Absolutely, absolutely going to moon. Now, let's talk about risks to the view. Okay. NASDAQ or S&P. You know, it's like with S&P, there are so many LuxAlgo signals for a 5-wave top in stunks. You know, there's 3 number 5s up here. There's like a 5-wave, a blue 5-wave, a white 5-wave. It's like, oh my God, please. So ugly. So ugly. So if you go below 66, you know, the number of the beast, 6660. If you go below the number of the beast in stonks, it's going to be a problem. Then again, maybe not. Maybe everybody wakes up and goes, you know what? I think I'd like Bitcoin. I mean, anybody who buys this instead of the Bitcoin ETF, in my opinion, is out of their mind. Absolutely out of their mind. You know, Bitcoin ETF puked right into equilibrium. Puked into equilibrium. ABC and these X waves just means it's an extended, messy correction. You get your crash. And now the big question is, you know, can they get back above 59 or 60? And if they can, it'll go to 100. And if they can't, it'll go to 50. Because whichever way they break, you have an expanding triangle, which can be a very, very, very like emotional, powerful formation, whichever way it breaks out. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen this because I learned the hard way in the QE era. The Fed, the hedge funds, they all waited for my little report at Goldman. Here comes little chart boy. Oh no, we broke the bottom of the expanding triangle. Oh my God, it's going massively lower. Okay. Then they would just turn on QE and the hedge funds would buy and it comes right back in here. And if it comes back in here, it can go to the top of the premium zone at 74. And no one thinks that can happen. No one. No one. It's like, all you have to do is pull this up, is pull up the chart of NASDAQ and go, is this the right trade? Like, remember the thing from Zero Hedge about memory? Yeah. Those prices for memory. Yeah. Someone has to pay those prices. Has anyone ever thought of this? Like, water, electricity, it's all going up. Buy the water, buy the electricity stocks, buy the semiconductor stocks. Wait a minute. These prices of things that go like this. Yeah. Someone has to spend money on that. These companies, these Magnificent Seven companies, like they're the spenders. They have to spend money on that. Why do you think they're laying everyone off? Oh, we had the greatest year ever. 10,000 people gone. Is that the right trade? Do you think? I don't. Actually, let's strip all the extraneous words from that. Let's try this. Do you think? Can you think? Of course, the answer to that is probably no, because you're wounded, you're hurt, you're confused, you don't know what's going on. Okay, I get that. However, that is why you should hit the like and subscribe button, become a customer, because that's what we help our customers do. We help our customers find stuff and we help our customers stay sane. Because I will tell you right now, there is nothing sane about NASDAQ. Nothing. There's nothing sane about thinking that you're going to get the kind of upside that you're going to get in crypto with this kind of bearish divergences that LuxAlgo is drawing when you have the guy from Chainlink telling you that crypto is going to 10x. I forgot virtuals. I got news for you, people. You can forget about these Coinbase, this stuff that's listed on Coinbase or that's on the Base network. Yeah, you can just get out of the way. This thing that Toby's in love with, this what is it? Proof of truth, intuition. Yeah, that's Base. You can just absolutely forget about getting in the way of this kind of stuff. No way. No way. I mean, if you look at virtuals, I'm having a little technical problem here. I'm solving it right now. Okay. If you look at this, what has virtuals done? Well, it was worth 5 billion and then it went up a lot. I mean, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people who understands virtual like T-Bone. And then there's everyone else who kind of gets it conceptually. What I know is anytime you have a break at a 50-day moving average or one of these LuxAlgo type formations, and then you break out on the upside and then you come back and it's actually giving you a dip, either to equilibrium or to a LuxAlgo support point, you got to get after it. You don't got to get after it because of the value proposition of virtuals, although I'm sure there clearly is one. You got to get after this because it's Coinbase and Base. And it is just ready to go. Jesse, we love you too, bro. We thank you for tuning in. T-Bone's biggest bag. Did I miss Astor? Yes. Here's what you missed. Toby Ward picked it. So that's all you need to know. Not investment advice. And it's at its discount zone. So Astor went way up, way back down. And now it looks like another dormant altcoin. Looks like another dormant altcoin. All altcoins are dormant. Everyone is like, did you hear all this stuff earlier this week? Like all the bears making fun of everybody who thinks that either alt season is coming or we're not going to have alt season. There's two kinds of people when it comes to alt season. Either we're going to have it and they're being mocked as delusional, or people who are saying we've never had it and they lament. And then there's people who say we will never have it. Well, guess what, folks? You're having alt season right now. It's just really not that many alts. It's the privacy coins and what's next. This is the way it works in equities, right? Every sector doesn't go all at once. One sector, semiconductors will go, then railroads, then water, then natural resources, then gold mining. You know what I'm saying? It's like it normally all doesn't go at once. Magnificent Seven, whatever. And you had all these Robinhood stocks. You had, let me see if I can call this up. Let's just look at Robinhood's stock. Right? You had alt season in equities already. This is Robinhood going from 20 in March to 150. This is a trading platform. This is like Charles Schwab online. You can do crypto. Kids like it. Okay. Let's take it from 34 to 150. You don't think this price action can permeate anywhere else? Anywhere else? This can't happen? Be sure, right? Like here's a classic. Let me see if I can do this on the fly. Robinhood versus MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy in the blue. So let me get this straight so I understand it. Robinhood goes straight up, and the company that owns more Bitcoin than any single entity ever could possibly hope to own. Maybe other than BlackRock because they've got the ETF. But you don't know because that's paper Bitcoin. You have no idea how much Bitcoin BlackRock actually owns because, they can just issue that ETF and there's no law that says they have to have the Bitcoin behind it. But this guy actually has the Bitcoin. He actually has it. And no one wants to touch the stock. No one wanted to touch the Bitcoin mining stocks. And I screamed about that for well over a year. And then they pivoted to AI and they all exploded. To the point where I actually think you should be taking profits in that stuff relative to crypto, right? It used to be better to own the crypto stocks than crypto. Now it's the reverse. But with MicroStrategy, it's like everyone has completely packed it in on Michael Saylor. No one's talking about Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's not on the tape. He's hiding from the world. Bitcoin goes back down to 100 again. Everybody's like, Michael Saylor's going to get liquidated. Okay. That will just let people do that. I mean, we've been letting people do that since he started buying Bitcoin in 2020. Okay. He's buying it at, I don't know. What is he doing? He's buying it at 10K. He's buying it at 20K. Like the 20K buy was the big buy that shocked the world. I mean, they're bringing this stock right down into support. And I swear, I mean, it may not be there yet, but look at this overshoot in MicroStrategy on a 4-hour chart. Like this 13 bottom, that should have been it. So it's wiped out like the entire year to start with. This is the 4-hour chart going back to, I don't know. Yeah, going back to November. So we've wiped out everything and look at the emotion. Because remember, equities don't trade 24/7. Okay. So gap up, we like it. No. Okay. Wait, 13 bottom, we like it. Oh, wait, no. Let's gap it down, crush it, take it back up to where it should have stopped, fail, gap, and then crush it. You got any idea what happens if like these gaps start getting filled? I mean, this gap got filled. They filled it and then they crashed it. Gaps get filled. I don't know. I mean, I'm just doing live TA. Like here's a gap. Here's a gap up here at 397. Anybody want to rally and fill that gap? I do. I do. Tom Lee, Ethereum. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin. Okay. Arthur Hayes, Zcash. And wouldn't it be a coup after he got done loading the boat, which is classic hedge fund, if Novogratz came out and started talking about XRP and Ripple? Because they just put money in along with every smart hedge fund who knows that that's going to be a $200 billion company. The company is going to be worth $200 billion. I mean, if Circle is worth $60 billion, clearly Ripple can be worth 3 times as much as Circle. And what's really funny is that XRP itself, the market cap on XRP is only 139 billion. I mean, you know, they can't invest in the company fast enough. And the cryptocurrency, okay, fine, it's the number 4 market cap. Maybe everything underneath Ethereum is absurdly undervalued. Has anyone thought of that? Probably not, because we're too busy selling or getting out or whatever it is we're doing. What are we doing? Right? It's like somebody, okay, so pro risk Intel likes Circle, and that's okay. I like Circle too. I like an American-made company onboarding everyone into crypto. But I mean, XRP's got their own stable coin. They have a layer 1, and they have 1,000 people, a company behind it. This was the knock on XRP for years. And that company is now worth $40 billion, according to, you know, the people who invest in it. You got any idea how much money they're giving OpenAI and all these other companies? $40 billion. That's like, bink. It's like a booger. It's like a flick in the universe flying through the air. It's nothing. These guys are throwing around trillions. Why do you think these hedge funds, Brevin Howard, Galaxy, all these guys like, oh, what do you need? 500 million? Okay, here you go. Give me some of that stock. 500 million. You need another 500 million? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I will do this all day. We'll do it all day. We'll get long when everyone else is selling, and everyone's going to wake up and go, oh my God, Ripple's a cryptocurrency company. It's the best cryptocurrency treasury company out there. On CoinDesk in less than 3 months. Link and Ondo will have their day. So will Matrix. So will John McAfee. John McAfee lives again, and I don't know that anyone's paying attention to that, but they should. Because when Roger Ver comes back, he's going to make you pay attention. You thought there was a lot of fanfare when Ross came back. You wait until you see Roger Ver at every single crypto conference, telling you all the great things about Bitcoin Cash, all the great things about privacy, and all the great things about John McAfee. Okay? You don't know who John McAfee is? That's okay. He wrote the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence. Let me tell you something. When this guy in that island on the East Coast, when he gets done, you're going to know who John McAfee is. You're going to know. Okay? Because the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence will mean something eventually. Most likely, it'll mean something when sovereigns behave badly. It would be nice if it meant something when a sovereign leader actually kept some of their promises. Some of them. We'll take some of them. We'll take the crypto market structure bill. How about that? That's easy. Just give me one thing. Give me one thing. You know, like, sorry to be a jerk, but we have a ballroom connected to the White House, but we don't have a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Really? Okay. That's going to change, though. Mr. Market has a funny way of bringing things back to, you know, it's like, wow, you know, I think we should pay attention to this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You know, wait until, you know, wait until that, you know, wait until that new entity on the island of Manhattan. Wait until these sovereign officials are all wearing Mao Zedong uniforms. You wait. It's going to happen. And even if it doesn't, it's time to keep our promises. Okay, Ondo. Again, this is everywhere, and it's okay because I'm cool with it, because it's painful and it gets everyone out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gigantic fifth wave with a humongous overshoot. You have an overshoot of the overshoot. You know, all these coins, Chainlink. Let's do Chainlink. Let's have a laugh. Let's do some Chainlink. By the way, this is a good time to extend appreciation to our members for supporting the channel. We hope you get rich and quit your day job. We will not rest until that is true. We will not rest. The YouTube member area with Toby Ward, the most mysterious, genius, underrated analyst possibly in the history of finance. When people understand what we're doing on that channel, you want to be able to say you were there in the beginning. And then, of course, there's Patreon, where we have the Gann model cranking out reports for everything from TA, where we discuss levels, some levels like 101. I have another level I'm keeping close to the vest. That's for our boys and girls. Okay, Chainlink, again, weekly. Time to start looking at this kind of stuff, like just like the Bitcoin Cash chart, right? All the boomer tokens. No one wants to look at boomer tokens. Okay. Like this high in Chainlink at 50, to be completely honest with you, is a joke. It's a joke. Like Chainlink is almost like, I don't know. It's like I don't know, maybe it's like Amazon Web Services or Oracle. It's like, how are you doing anything with data without Chainlink? And even these other oracles like Dia that we picked out, API 3, the graph, like, what's that? Dude, listen to me. The pain trade on the way up is lack of liquidity, boomer coins on Coinbase, and tech infrastructure that no one in the trenches wants to touch. The pain trade is that everybody who's knee deep in crypto is looking at all the wrong stuff. They're all looking over there, and legacy and the Coinbase herd is coming from over there, right? And here's everybody, right? Like the thundering Buffalo Tatanka Buffalo herd from Dances with Wolves is coming, and we're looking over here, or we're looking in our bag, and the herd is coming from stonks from everywhere. Like, what happens if BlackRock starts making announcements? Cathie Wood made an announcement today. Ripple made an announcement. XRP went up 6%. And what are they doing with XRP right now? Wait, don't tell me. Let me guess. Don't tell me. Let me guess. It's down from where it was. Let's see. Where's XRP? Yeah, okay. XRP at $2.33. Ooh. Okay. T-Bone says, I've been here from the beginning, seen lots of growth. Yeah, man, the biggest promoters, right? The guys who come in and super chat like Big Rich, that guy's a member across platforms. Okay. The Umi is having a hard time and he needs motivation. Okay. Well, let's start with this. Probably want to do less of what you're talking about in your chat, less of that. More grass, more greenery. And if you happen to live in an urban jungle, perhaps you should pick up an inspirational book, like, the big book. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Because what can happen is, and I have this problem too with chocolate. The box of chocolates under the bed, Zcash, that's a joke and not a joke. I don't actually have a box of chocolates under the bed, but I can understand if you want to do something to get away from the discomfort of this market. And this is one of the things that I have to learn and struggle with is you have to learn, talking to myself, like, self. You must learn to deal with discomfort. You cannot be Tudor Jones. You cannot be Stan Druckenmiller. You cannot be Warren Buffett. You cannot be Michael Saylor unless you can deal with discomfort. You don't think Tom Lee lost a little sleep over this ETH plunge? Now, of course, I'm sure he had capital to come in and buy, but it was like, Tom Lee will never sleep at night. Everybody knows what happens when this market goes down or stonks get wrecked. Everyone knows what that S&P chart looks like. You don't think they know? They know. They have to deal with the discomfort or they can't do their job. What's Tom Lee going to say? No, I want to go home and numb myself. No, I got to get on television. I got to get on television. I got to deploy my capital. I got to walk the walk and talk the talk. So I understand you need motivation. There are a lot of good motivational clips out there. I could tell you, I could give you the names of some of the people I watched, but I don't know if you can say that on YouTube or not. Okay, what you need to do, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, is realize that there is the word cry in crypto. And you will cry. You will be upset. I'm upset. Doesn't matter what I say. I look at this thing and I go, wow, that's upsetting. 99K Bitcoin, that was upsetting. Right? When my stop loss level was a close below 101, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And my other pivot is like a little bit above that. So this is not completely out of the woods, but that's good. Because the more pain you feel, the more likely it is that there's a bottom. So you know what you do when you feel pain? You want to know how I do it? I just go, it's going to 200K. It was going to 200K a month ago, a week ago, a year ago. Everyone's like, it's going to 200K. Last year, it's at 120. Everyone's like, oh, I'm revising my upside target to 200. Where are those guys? Where's Standard Charter? They're afraid. They're doing exactly what you're doing. Right? T-Bone says, watch Jordy Visser. Dude, I used to work with him. Oh, my God. He's just as smart. He's the same guy he was back then. He's just got, he's got a chat bot. And he's got himself a portfolio manager job that he just sits around. He not sits around. He can listen to podcasts and, push a button and be long all the stuff he wants to be long, and then just listen to podcasts and do chatbot all day. And then make these videos with his Bloomberg terminal that blow your mind. I'm so jealous. Me and Eagle King killed ourselves for 3 years to get 25,000 followers. I woke up one day and he had 25,000 followers. Now, he was lucky enough to get on Pomp's podcast, but still, this guy's telling you AI and Bitcoin go together. I mean, he has all these intricate things to talk about the economy, sectors in stonks, and the fact that he even talks about sectors is important for crypto people to listen to. But if AI and Bitcoin and AI and crypto go together, what are we doing? Now, his job is not to say, what are we doing? Because, in his words, he doesn't get paid to advise you about crypto. But I publish research. I got it. So does Toby. We're here. 500th episode of the Market Update was 3-4 days ago. And starring Toby Ward. Right? Some guy said he watched that and he went home and slept good. You need to sleep good? You need a new habit? Listen to Toby Ward. How about that? You can listen to me or you can listen to Toby. But listen to somebody. Don't listen to your own monkey mind. I had problems with monkey mind 2 days ago. I'm like, oh my God. I'm watching this in Asia time, up all night. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to blow up. I'm never going to be able to show my face in crypto again. What, you don't think I have these problems? I have these problems. I have these problems. By the way, I don't know where it is. Well, I know where it is. It's on Crypto Princess's YouTube channel. Okay. Taurus, thank you. I appreciate that. Coming out tomorrow on the Crypto Princess channel is the Bill Noble crypto story. So basically, I bared my soul to somebody who started off with a question of, what were you like in high school? And I basically told her the whole story. Just told her the whole story. She's just, because me and this individual, by the way, a very intelligent woman out of the UK, basically the complete opposite of me in every way. I swear to God, but extremely intelligent. I'm going to give her some love right here. Okay, we were kind of co-winners of, the micro channel of the year, right? One waiting, that would be me. Premieres 9:40 a.m. There's a lot of smart people out there. Okay, she does a great job of explaining certain things. Everyone thinks that because they see me on YouTube that I'm like some guy driving around in a Lambo. I do appreciate that. And, you know, the Lambo is on my mind. I'm not immune to thinking about the Lambo. And you know how you get a Lambo? You subscribe to this channel, you become a customer, you listen to Toby, you listen to Crypto Princess, you get whatever research you can, and you buy it and you act on it when you're scared out of your mind. When you want to bury your head in your sand and you never want to do this again and you hate it, you hate it, you've lost so much money, you can't stand it. I don't ever want to touch this thing ever, ever, ever again. What moron got me into this? That's when you push all in. That's when you just go, whoop. That's, you know, but that's what I did. And how much sleep am I losing? Some guy said I was an AI agent. I still think that's funny. Do AI agents need do I need like a giant cucumber on my eyes to get rid of these bags? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an AI agent? No, I'm not an AI agent. Okay, people, that is the market update for today. You got the side commentary. Make sure you check out the interview on Crypto Princess's channel. Make sure you listen to the Crypto Queen. That is Toby Ward, the goddess of crypto at the YouTube member area. And of course, do not forget to check out Patreon, where we have just the whole plan is in Patreon. And it's even in the Patreon store. In other words, I forgot to tell you this. I kind of did everybody a favor. You know, if you're wrecked and you're allergic to anything monthly, which, you know, I still think you have to have research, but Patreon does have a store. And I loaded this store up. I mean, if you're a VIP, you can get everything in the store. You can get everything in the store for the price of a monthly membership, but the privacy plan, the GAN roadmap with the privacy coins, the Solana 7 is still relevant for $17. And our AI trade is on sale from $55 to $39 for the last normal year. The last normal year. The last normal year means you should enjoy being human and you should get involved in crypto as soon as possible. Not investment advice. We will see you tomorrow morning.